Fabi and I started a whole exchange around the type of puzzle he created. He suggested, excuse me, the type of puzzle he suggested we solve. And for those of you who weren't here, I'd like to show that puzzle as he described it, because some folks were not here to watch it. You can see it on the stream in replay. But Fabi posed us this puzzle. He said, here's the puzzle. Black has a king and 3 pawns somewhere on the board. White has a king somewhere on the board. Anywhere. Doesn't matter where they are. The only thing is this. The only stipulation is the pawns are not doubled in any way. So black does not have a pawn here or here. No double pawns. The pawns are absolutely whole and healthy, if you will. Black has 3 pawns. White has a king. The position is, you're going to set it up and then prove that the position you set up is a draw. Not only that, it's going to be black's turn to move. So it's not like white's just chomping on something immediately. That was the hard part. It is black's turn to move, and the position is a draw. For those of you who were not here, this is an extraordinary puzzle. Now I'm going to put the chat over here. All right. So in this position, you found another solution, not necessarily on G7, you mean on G2, right? Attacking the pawn is what you're saying. So I see what you're saying. I'm going to go with that. Let's take a look at it. So the position was set it up in such a way. Now it's mind-blowing, this puzzle, because he said, obviously this position is not it. Black's just winning easily. But what he said was that 15 of the best players in the world were given this puzzle, and they couldn't figure it out. They kept coming back to it over an hour. Well, you know, it's unlikely that we're going to get the answer anytime along the stream, and I might have been up late at night trying to figure that sucker out. So in this puzzle, he said, first he wants to show us the wrong answer. And the wrong answer, which was deep, so here's the position, that's the wrong answer. The wrong answer. It is black's turn to move in this position. That was white's turn to move. White takes this and goes here and it takes that. That's nothing, right? So we're not interested in that puzzle. It's this position with black's turn to move. It's black's turn to move. So here, if it's black's turn to move, then black wins. Why? Black cannot defend this pawn, but black starts to bring the king of the board. White takes. Now black brings the king of the board some more. White goes after this pawn, and now black goes to h5 with the king. This is the key. And after king takes, black shoulders out the white king, and the h pawn, which looks like a bad pawn, is a very good pawn right now and is just going to win the game. Of course, the mirror position on the other side is the same. Chessboard is the same on both sides, so mirror positions are going to work as well. So this was Fabi's point, that this position was still a win. But what was the nuance difference? The nuance difference is the actual. Now, by the way, I should point out that Tani, when Tani saw this position, he instantly thought it was a win. Did you guys notice that? He instantly said, this is winning. This black to move is winning. And he pointed out the same maneuver, bringing the king up and king to g4. Just like that. Like, kid, you're 10. What are you doing? what you doing? I mean, they're like 10, just immediately. Boom. All right? So, we then talk, this is where Fabi said the position's off. And when I saw, quicker than that little young whippersnapper who beat me to the punch on the first one, was that if you put the pawn on h6, now the position is actually drawn. When black tries to do this, white takes. And the key is this. You don't make the blunder of going to f4 and letting black play here and do the same maneuver. What you do is you place black in Zugzwang by playing king to g4. And this position prevents black from being able to go to h5. If black puts a pawn on h5, now you move over and black's king cannot make any progress. This king will capture and double back into the corner very easily. If you try to push, then king back, you don't get at the board fast enough to stop white from getting into that corner, and this is also a draw. Fantastic, fantastic position, all right? Fantastically instructive. The point that in this position here, it is black's turn to move. Black is 3 pawns ahead with the move, and cannot win the game. highly unlikely scenario. Now, somebody said if the king were here, it's also a draw. That's true because the king's going to take this pawn no matter what on the very next move. So yes, this is an alternate solution as well. Nothing to do. This pawn's not going anywhere. You're going to take it. So both situations work. King on this square, king on this square, as long as you're ready to capture the pawn on G3. All right? Thank you so much. Not so great, Malenko. That is a very good point. I'm seeing my merch getting shouted out. Absolutely. You know, I forgot to mention Friday was a merch day as well. What was I thinking? Hey. Did you see Neil with the cup? Boom! Boom! Yo, my merch drop. How you like the merch? I'm supposed to drink and show it prominently. So I guess I'm supposed to do it like this so you can all see it. Boom! What am I saying? All right. Boom. That's what's up. The merch is out. You can exclaim merch if you want to see it. Chipotle Sensei. Yeah, you got to get the cup. Check out the merch page. Exclaim merch. You collect coffee cups from Twitch streamers. There you go. There you go. Just exclaim merch. The coffee cup is in. Plus, you can get the hat. Plus, you can get the hoodie. Plus, you can get the sweatshirt. Plus, the Gangster chest line is also out as well. I'm going to wrap that on another show for sure. Now, not so great Malenko. You just put down a puzzle. White has knight and pawn. Black is queen and is next to move. Find a position where white still wins. I have a question for you. Where did you get that puzzle from? Pawn up. Thanks for buying the mug. Much appreciated. Where did you get that puzzle from? Not so great Malenko. Because you just anticipated something that's going to happen on this stream. Because that particular puzzle, Fabi told to me as well. That's funny. That's a conversation Fabi and I were having. That's a good one. White has knight and pawn. Black has a queen and is next to move. Find a position where white still wins. I did find the answer, by the way. Let me let you know. Hey, don't mess around. But I'm curious where you got it from because unless you weren't talking to Fabi, then somehow, there's no way you both suddenly have this puzzle. My friend's chess teacher revenged on me after I messed with him with Fabi's puzzle. Oh, that's funny. Okay, I'm going to give you something. I'm going to give you something to mess back at your friend's chess teacher with. How about that? How about that? And we'll see whether or not they can figure it out. All right? We'll see whether or not they can figure it out. Why not have everything the same but one square down? You can't have it one square down, Avivko. If you mean one square down this way, this way, this way, black to move plays that and the game's over. So that will not work for sure. One square down would not work. All right. And if you mean one square down the other way, well, here, the other way, black just plays h5 and the game is over. So it doesn't work. The only one is this one, or as pointed out also with the king on this square, or the mirror, which is the same thing. All right. So I'm going to get, right, it is black to move. I'm going to get to that puzzle, Malenko. You still have no answer after 2 days of struggles. I don't know. I'm going to spoil it for you on this show. I'm going to spoil it for you because Fabi gave me the puzzle last night, and I woke up at, it was like 12:30 in the morning, and I had solved the puzzle, but I woke up and also created my own puzzle. I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. I woke up like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm laying in the bed. I'm like this, like, why am I awake? This is ridiculous. And then my brain goes back to Fabi's puzzle, and I'm like, wait a minute. I think I can make a puzzle out of that puzzle. I can make a puzzle out of that puzzle. I think I could do it. All right? I think I could do it. So here we go. You know, you're going to have me jumping to the puzzle. I'm going to jump to the puzzle. So, you know what? Let's just get right to it. We're talking about it. Let's get right to it. So first of all, let's get everybody up to speed with what this private conversation we're having right now. First, I got to get... Okay, I'll leave the king on the board. Why can't I grab something other than the king? Okay, that's got to go. That's got to go. All right, here's the deal. The puzzle is this. Fabi said, here's the puzzle, Maurice. New puzzle for you. No, I can't tell the story out of sequence. I got to tell the story in sequence. My bad. My bad. I'm going to tell the story in sequence. Because what happened was Fabi's king and three pawns puzzle, the puzzle we have right here. I'm going to get to it. Don't worry. I'm going to get to that puzzle you're talking about. This puzzle right here, king and three pawns, this is something I've never seen before. King and three pawns with black to move no double pawns, and the game is won. The game is drawn. The game is still drawn, right? I was like, I've never heard of that puzzle before. That's a puzzle type I've never heard of. So it fascinated me. It fascinated me. So I started thinking, what other types of those kind of puzzles could I create? Because I've never created a puzzle like that. Never even heard of a puzzle like that. So I started, you got my brain going. Maybe that's why I was sick. No, I'm kidding. Got my brain going. So I started trying to create a new puzzle of this type. So what I did was, I thought of a puzzle. I said, hey, what about if I had a king and pawn versus a king, rook, and bishop? King and pawn versus a king, rook, and bishop. And somehow the pawn, it's black's turn to move, and the pawn wins. Could I set that up? Black's turn to move, and the pawn wins. And so I started trying, and I threw a king here. Remember, it cannot be check. It can't be something like this, for example. This cannot be a solution. It's check. It's check to the king. And then the king moves and you say, oh yeah, I'm getting a queen, and then I mate you. That's a dumb puzzle. We call that a dumb puzzle. Nothing sophisticated. That's a dumb puzzle. It's got to be black's move, and black cannot be in check. Otherwise, it's not a real puzzle. Obviously, because you could easily set something like that up. All right, so here we go. We're going to take this off. And this is what we got. We got a rook, a bishop, and a king. And white only has a king and pawn. It's black's turn to move, and somehow white wins. So I couldn't figure it out. I'm going to give you my closest try. My closest try was this. This was my closest try. All right? I found this position where I said, look, I'm going to force a queen through. You cannot stop me from queening the pawn. Or so I thought. I'm going to get a queen. Well, there are two problems with this puzzle. One is I'm not going to get a queen. And second of all, it doesn't even matter if I get a queen because there's a rook and a bishop. All right? So here's the problem. It is true that white won't lose this game. White, though, I'm trying to win. That's the challenge I set to myself. Rook and a bishop, king and pawn. How do you win if you're white? Set up a position where you're winning. This position is not winning. It's not winning for two reasons. One, the prosaic and boring rook g6. And there's nothing. All right? Thanks, Mr. Quinn, for getting the mug. Boom! Exclam merch, y'all, to get the mug. Absolutely. Now, so I said, this is not going to win. Even if I get a queen, rook and bishop are going to fight, right? That's not going to happen. This is not going to happen. So that's one easy problem. Believe it or not, I didn't even notice that one. I was like, ooh, wait a minute. And then I went, oh, yeah. I noticed a fancy one. The fancy one was this. The fancy one is this move. Check. And then after king takes, bishop to g8. I said, oh man, this so-and-so just shut my puzzle down. Okay, there he goes. Puzzle doesn't work. Puzzle fails. Papa Jokes to rook d7 does not. Man, I'd win on you if I had a bet. Rook d7 does not do it. Rook d7, I take you, and you can't stop me from queening. This game is over. All right? This game is over. I win if you play rook d7. No, the key move is rook to e6. If you want to get fancy, you fancy, huh? Is rook to e6 check, and after king takes, that nasty, pin him, and there goes the pawn. It's a draw. I thought it was nice. I was like, oh, that's nice. That's cute. That's cute. But that's not what I wanted. But that's cute. All right? That's a cute tactic. It's a cute idea. All right. So we leave that alone. So I couldn't find an answer. I see somebody suggested something. A rook on a1, bishop on b1. Coolio, that's not going to win the game. That's not going to win the game. A rook here, king here. That's not. How's this even? This is not going to win the game. Unless, wait. Even, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You didn't add the white pawn on b7. Oh, Coolio, you are a genius. At least, white king on b2, black rook on a, black bishop, black king on h8, white king on b2, white king on b2, pawn on b7. Yo, Coolio, you get all the cred. This is extraordinary. Completely winning. Coolio is a genius. That's amazing. Coolio, boom, that works. I am impressed. I'm impressed. I'm also depressed because I didn't see it myself. And I'm thinking, can it work with this rook on this square also? I'm loving it. I'm loving it. You got us excited. It works all the way across, in fact. As long as you stop the rook from even to come back. Coolio, respect. Could we give it up for Coolio, people? That's amazing. This was what I was trying to figure out. I couldn't figure it out. I was like, yeah, forget it. I'm going to go on to something else. But Coolio just rocked it just like that. But hold on. You know what the beauty of this puzzle is? Damn, it's so slick. It's so slick. The thing is this. The rook can move. But where? Because when this pawn queens, the rook is going to get served somehow. So let's say the rook tries to go here. I'm going to make, it is white's turn to move. Legal moves only. When white queens, white has to win the rook. That's the key. But it's not going to be hard to do. Oh, it's easy, in fact. After this, I just play check, and then I go here and I pick off the rook. So that works. Coolio, you are a total gangster. Loving it. Loving it. Okay, where else can the rook hide? We've got to hide the rook more than anything else, right? That's the point. So let me put on legal moves only. It's black to move. Where can the rook hide? Here it doesn't help because of king takes, and then that's just a finish of the game. Matter of fact, any rook move like this, we're just going to queen and then pick this off. We don't have to do anything, or we could just take in the rook. So the point is, where can the rook hide? If the rook goes here, when you promote, you're going to have some kind of angular shot at that rook. That's the key, or here or here. Somehow that rook's dropping like a fly. All right, let's see. If you go here, for example, we queen, and where on this you cannot bring the rook back because of check, and then you pick off the bishop. So that's going to happen, right? So that'll work. So here, queens, king has to move. King has to be really careful where it goes. The queen's going to have to find. See, the thing is, it's deep because the queen has to find some kind of zigzaggy maneuver. Ooh, the zigzag. I love it when all the things come together in one stream. That's what I love about my peeps, is that they come up with such good stuff. Now, how are we going to do this? How do we zigzag? No, white, queen b7. Queen b7, but queen c7 looks like the one I want. I want to pick this sucker off. So if you go here, for example, I got you. So you can't do that. All right, so let's back up a move. Where would you go? If you go, see, if you go up to the third rank at all, I got picked. I'll pick you off. Hey, that's up, BTS. Coolio does deserve a gift for sure for coming up with a genius solution. Love it. Love it, absolutely. Fantastic. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I can't say anything worse. This king move, well, we're going to go hunt the rook down. Check. And see, I'm going to do it to that rook. The rook can't hide. That's the bottom line. We love it. Coolio, that's what's up. See that? That's what's up. It doesn't matter if the king goes to a dark square or not. The king just can't go to a rank, period. Cannot go here. We pick you off because we're doing diagonal and rank to the king. So it doesn't matter if it's on a dark square. All right? That's the difference. You could go backwards. We don't care. You can go to a, ooh, this one. Don't do this. Hold on. My bad. Don't do this because after rook back, you don't have a check to the king. You see that? The queen's too far. Keep that in mind. We're going to do something with that. We're going to do something with that later. The king's too far. So you cannot figure out how to check. And then this bishop's going to roll back, and that's it. You're going to get a draw. So that's a bad move. But, of course, we had the easy check. Give it up. Done deal. All right? Done deal. So we had all kinds of ways. Somebody's pointing out that there was an easy way as well. King here drops blood to this as well. So it's over. It's over. I love it. Coolio, you have gotten your gift, and you got maybe, more importantly, I'm just going to say maybe, the respect of the GM. Coolio, that was awesome. That was like, give it up. Brilliant. Brilliant. One pawn, it is the bishop and rook to move, and that is that. Bishop f4. What does bishop f4 do? I don't get it. That's a queen, and that's game. So that's check. It's over. Nope. You ain't stopping Coolio's genius addition to the literature of chess, okay? This is forever, Coolio. You can be happy for the rest of your life. You're right. This is forever. This is your contribution to the literature of chess. That's what's so great about chess. And especially creating puzzles, folks. You could create a puzzle, put your name on it. You are remembered by that puzzle for all time. For all time. You come up with a great puzzle, you put your name on it, and 100 years from now, it's Coolio 2021. Done. Forever. Stamped. Forever. You feel me? Forever. That's what I'm talking about. Now, the only thing about this, all right, thank you, Learn with Leon. The only thing about this is that maybe my challenge wasn't specific enough to make it unique. Because we love to have unique solutions. And we've discovered that this actually has different solutions, right? That's the only thing about this. So the question becomes, can we make it even harder, right? So for example, can we add another piece to the board, like a knight, for example? Would that also win? Let's say, for example, we decided we're going to put a knight on A1. Just drop a knight on A1. And it is black's turn to move. Now, is this also winning? Knight, bishop, and rook on the board. That knight looks dead. The rook is probably going to die. This looks winning too. This looks like it should be winning as well. So we can actually, based on Coolio's concept, now that I have that concept, I'm going to start riffing. Just like when Fabi showed me something, I started riffing. So now that Coolio said, Maurice, duh, set it up like this, make sure it's a check happening, put the rook and the bishop next to each other like this, so we're attacking both. Now it's clear we can start riffing. Add a queen. Come on, Banderas. It's not going to happen. That's meaningless. You can't put a queen on the board. That's just going to be finished. So this is not going to work. Now, another rook. I don't buy that. No, you can't be right. Another rook is not going to work. We can add a rook instead of the knight. The rook on A1. If I put a rook on A1, what happens? Separating these two pieces. The problem is, no, then it's just a joke because the bishop can move. The bishop moves, the rooks are connected, not going to happen. So that's not going to work. All right, and there's no place else I can imagine putting a rook. But anyway, this position with the knight on, though, that's different. That's different. The rook's dropping. You can't drop the rook. You can't let the queen come and take your rook. Your knight and bishop will be hanging. This looks deadly. You can't put another rook on the board. I doubt it. If you put another rook on the board, now it's material equality. It means that black will retain at least a rook and a bishop. It's going to be a draw. So we cannot do this. We cannot add another rook like this. We can add more material, not that I can think. All right? So it's kind of funny that I didn't pursue this any further. I was a little bit lazy, I have to admit, because I didn't pursue this any further because I must have some kind of ADHD because I got distracted. And I was like, oh, screw this puzzle. I'm going to think of something different. And what did I think that was different? Remember this. It was only a rook and a bishop. And I was like, yeah, I can't figure it out. Coolio just did, but I can't figure it out, right? So what did I do for my next trick, my next magic act? Rook and bishop doesn't work. What if I put not just a rook, not just two rooks, not just a bishop, not just two bishops, not just a knight, not just two knights, but also add a queen to the board and give white only a king and pawn. Now, hold on. Hold on. I'm just trying to understand the way my brain works. I couldn't figure out a king and a pawn versus a rook and a bishop. And when I got frustrated, because I was just laying down on the sofa, just like, rook and bishop, yeah, oh, no, I can't do that. No, that doesn't work. Oh, damn, that doesn't. Okay, whatever. I wonder what would happen if I put everything on the board. Like, what are you, crazy? Like, what are you, nuts? How does my brain work? I don't get it, all right? Turns out I couldn't solve this one. Why? I needed a black pawn on the board. And now, here's the question. Here's the puzzle. You ready? It is white. This is the position. White does not have the black king in check. Black has all these pieces. It is black's turn to move, and white wins. Okay? Coolio is going to be like, bing, got it, easy. Okay? Yo, I feel you, Coolio. Anything you do, I believe. So you got our respect. But yes, it is set up the position in such a way that it is, I'm going to give you a flawed way. A flawed way. All right? First, my description is flawed. But let's do it. No way. Yeah, way. Calling Fabi. I did call Fabi Papa Jokester. You think I'm stupid? I didn't fire. I messengered him. I said, Fabi, listen. You inspired me. You inspired me. And I got a puzzle for you. All right? And the puzzle is this. Black has all the pieces from the back row and a pawn. White has only a king and a pawn. It is clearly not check. Of course, it's always going to be not check. It is black's turn to move. Black is clearly not in check. And yet, white wins. So I had a solution that I was all happy about. I was like, yeah, I got a solution. And Fabi, very quickly, like Coolio speed, all right? Like Coolio speed, came back with a solution. I'm going to just pull up Fabi's solution because it just blew my mind. I was like, what the hell? He just instantly blew up my puzzle. Okay? He said, okay, it's all right, W.S. Skinny, you gotta remember what the situation is. You're gonna pick up the pieces are not on their final squares. All right? They're not on their final squares. They are supposed to be arranged in such a way that it's white's turn to move, that is black's turn to move, and white still wins, even though white does not have check in, like, the next move is not check. You understand? Not that the next move is not check, that the present move is not check, that it's not check in the position. That's the question. White does not have the black king in check. That's too easy. That's very easy. We already showed that. The question is, how can you set up a position in such a way that it is black's turn to move, despite the fact that black has all these pieces, and white still wins. Hello, English grammar. All right? So, here we go. Here's what Fabi spat back in seconds. You ready? Seconds. Fabi said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to set this up. That's called unstoppable mate. All right? The man's brain works brilliantly. That's unstoppable mate. And now he said, okay, so I got to make sure there's nothing that stops what I'm trying to do. So he put this queen in the corner, this rook here, a knight here, this bishop here, this pawn, so the bishop couldn't give check, and this bishop here. And it's black's turn to move, and the game is over. Black has all these pieces and cannot stop the mate coming at him. All right, Coolio, I know you're on the right track already. You're on the right track. This is winning. It's black's turn to move. In other words, I can change this position. I can put a pawn here. I'll put a pawn here for now. And I'll say it's white to move and win. Right? It's the same puzzle, essentially. It's white to move and win. This shows you better be careful. Watch your back in any chess game. Right? It's white to move and win. White plays c7 is like, yeah, what? Go. What? I'm gangster. Boom. All right? Make a move. Make a move and die. Queen b1. Sorry, guys. That doesn't help. We're promoting to a queen. Let me make legal moves only. We're promoting to a queen. And when you block, come get this mate. All right? Come get this mate. You're done. That's it. You're finished. Bye. It's over. That's no defense. Okay? Let's go back to allowing illegal moves. We'll go back here. That doesn't help. That don't help. Black is done. Black is done. It's one pawn against a fleet. And it's over. It's over. It's just done. You can't stop it. The game is over. Can you imagine? Look at this position. Multiple pieces. This pawn is going to win the game. That's sick. Fabi came back like that. I said, damn, Fabi. And he's like, yeah, you could change it around, move the knight around, rooks around, whatever. It's like, yeah, okay. Like you could do this, for example. All right? That's it. Now, I get to get on my soapbox. Somebody just said it. Exov just said, come on, but it's not practical at all. Should I start or should I just hold back? Because you know I'm just like, it's one of those things that you want to tick me off. That's what you say, right? I mean, that's what you say when you want to really tick me off. That's the something you say. It's not practical. Exov, did you see the stream with Neil deGrasse Tyson and Fabi? Did you see that stream? All right. Did you actually watch when I said the same thing you said? The exact same thing. So when I show people puzzles, and they go, oh no, this has never happened in a real chess game. This is not practical. Why are we looking at this? What did they say? Neil deGrasse said, oh, please stop your whining. That's the first thing he said. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what he said. He was disgusted by the question. He was just totally disgusted by the question. Like, what? Nobody cares. We're on the frontier of discovery. We ain't got time for practicality. All right? And then Fabi said, yeah, absolutely. Agree. He said, everything, no matter what you look at in chess, is stored up here. Something, it's stored somewhere. It's that creativity you're trying to build. It's not about practicality. It's not about practicality. That's the deal. You feel me? Now, bishop e5 doesn't work for the same reason queen b1 doesn't work. If the queen couldn't block and do the job, then clearly the bishop blocking is not going to stop check and check. So bishop e5 doesn't happen. All right? So, guys, get over your addiction to reality. Write that down, somebody. Write that down. Get over your addiction to reality. You can't create if all you think about is what could happen, what's real, what's practical. The chessboard's not real. We already know that. We talked about that on the last stream. This is an abstract creation, all right? The pieces don't have any agency, as Neil deGrasse Tyson said. They don't have any agency. They don't move. They're all creations of our brain. Somebody put this down and created a game called chess and said, these are the rules. And you say, okay, I'm going to obey these rules. And therefore, if I'm going to obey these rules, then it must be something that can actually happen in games that I'll be interested in. No, that's not. This is just an artificial construct. We can do whatever we want with it. It's like mathematics. You know, you can do a Boolean algebra and the like. People invented differential equations, and then all of a sudden calculus, and oh snap, this can describe the universe. No, arithmetic is real. What's your business with your calculus nonsense? And then all of a sudden, we can describe the universe using this stuff. All right? Be willing to set aside your conceptions about what is limited reality so that you can dream big. All right? So you can dream big. So, these are ideas. And these are the ideas, not that, oh, by the way, this position doesn't work. So I just set up a bad one because the queen could get back. My bad. So, thank you, XOF. I didn't get crazy on you because I could have got crazy on you. So this position, the queen gets blocked. But here's, I think that actually it's harder than I thought because you can't do this either because the queen re-enters the game. So Fabi, I think, made a more unique position than he thought. All right? So here's the thing about that is you really have to be ready for that. You really have to embrace that idea. Once you embrace that idea, then you're free to do whatever you want on the chessboard. All right, guys? That is what we're after. We're after freeing our minds. Freeing our minds. That's what we're after. All right? So this is the fun stuff. The fun stuff. All right. So Fabi blew up my puzzle, but that wasn't my solution. So I said to him, listen, I'm going to tell you something. That doesn't work for me. Because this wasn't my solution. My solution, white does not promote on the next move. I'm going to change it. White does not promote on the next move and still wins. You see here, white is going to promote. I said, okay, new challenge. Same thing. All these pieces, new challenge. White doesn't promote on the next move. White doesn't promote on the next move. He goes, his reply when I said that, he wrote exact words, just so you guys know, I'm not making this up. Let me just make y'all see what wait, before I show you the solution, let me just push that down, okay? Before you see the solution. There we go. Okay, here we go. I don't know if you can read that. That says, okay, interesting. That's the conversation we're having. He said, okay, interesting. He didn't say, sorry, what was it, X off? All right. He didn't say, that's not practical. He said, okay, interesting. All right. What he said? Interesting. That's what 2800s do. They don't live in the world of the practical. That's like Neo and Morpheus. Welcome to the world of the real. All right. Nobody living in the world of the practical. It's not practical. It's not practical. Nobody cares about that. We're creative people. We're creating. We're creating. That's how your brain gets elevated. He was like, okay, interesting. And what did he do? Got mofo. Didn't come back with my solution. Found another solution. What was that other solution? He kept the queen in the corner. Kept the bishop in the corner. Put a bishop here. Locked everybody out with that king. Did this to the position. Locked everybody out with two knights. And there you go. It is black's turn to move. And it's still over. White wins. Black has nothing to do in this position. That's it. Busted. White's got one pawn. Is not promoting on the next move. Okay? But is going to win the game. That's it. That's it. It's done. You can't. You got all the pieces and a pawn. Now, if I remove this pawn, all bets are off. I needed to add a pawn in order to make this puzzle work. Now, Coolio, if you can take that black pawn off the board and do it with just pieces, you're a legend for the rest of all time. I'm going to tell you straight up. That black pawn has to be on the board to help make all this work. Otherwise, the pieces are ready to just do craziness. I'm going to keep you up all night trying to figure that out. Ain't I, Coolio? But listen, the black pawn is what helps to shield the white king from any kind of dangerous checks. All right? And so now this is winning for white. If white's last move was like b6, it's over. Have I put these through Stockfish? You know, some people be asking questions, man. I'm going to say, no, I didn't use Stockfish. I didn't check it at all with the engine. Hello, this is 2021. When I last checked, of course you make sure Stockfish checks it. Nobody's going to leave it alone and be like, yeah, we got it right, and we don't check Stockfish. Everybody checks Stockfish. The best players on the planet always check Stockfish. Check Stockfish. Say that 3 times fast. All right? Of course. The engines go, yeah, it's over. All right? It's over. It's done. This is the edge of chess. If this kind of stuff can happen on the chessboard, people, think about it. If this kind of thing can actually happen, how amazing is our game? And it can actually happen. Can actually happen. I've shown you a game that Serper brilliancy, where Serper sacks all his pieces and wins the game. All of them. Every last piece is sacrificed and wins the game. All right? So, there you go. There you go. Crazy things happen on the chessboard, and you just gotta expand your brain. Again, not my solution. It showed that there were multiple solutions to a puzzle. You know I don't like multiple solutions to a puzzle. So here this one is true. Also, the bishop, I guess, could be here as well, so that it can't check. So that could be the case. And that's it. But that wasn't my solution. My solution was this. And I guess I could have it on the other side of the board as well. So I'm going to set it up for the first time on the other side. My solution involved putting the king here and the pawn here. I have the same mate coming at white, coming at black. And now we flip the board. I'm going to put the queen in the corner. And how do I do this? I put a rook here, 2 bishops here, and 2 knights like so. Stacking the pieces in such a way that nobody can help the hapless king. That's it. That's done. And you're finished. All right? Finished. What? You took the pawn off? You took off the black pawn. It's not check. It's 2 moves away from queening. And you have a win? I don't believe you. I don't believe you. And so I'm sure I don't believe you. A5 does not save black because white just plays queens, check, and queen b7 mate. Not 2 moves away. It got to be 2 moves. It cannot be 1 move away. 1 move away. Well, one move away is good, actually. If you take a pawn off and you can actually do one move away, then that's cool too. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. It can't be checked, and you're one move away from queening. I'll give you that. Tell us the position. I mean, and you might have a job as one of the greatest puzzle solvers since, like, Reuben Fine, puzzle creators is what I meant to say, since Reuben Fine, since like Reddy or Trotsky and them guys. I mean, you could drop that, then you need to let us see what you're talking about. All the pieces on, no black pawn, and white still wins. It's not check. Yeah. ET's like, oh, Fen, please. Let's see it. Bring it up. Bring it up. Let's see it. We need to see it. If that's a puzzle, we need to see it. Everybody's ready to write your book, Coolio. Everybody's ready to write your book. If you can show us a position like that, in other words, take this pawn off the board and now show us a way, even with a position like this one, for example, Fabi's position. If you can block everybody, queen on here's a slight cheat. Oh, stop it. Stop it. Of course, if you do same color bishops, you can do it. We're not buying that one, Coolio. Same color bishops, that I know. That you can definitely do. We're not, that stipulation is out the window. You can't do same color bishops. I see the puzzle you're talking about. This one, that one, and that one. You're right. You are true. All right? That does work, but nah, we need a light square bishop. We can't do it like this. This is just killing a bishop from the board. So, good try, but not gonna happen. If anybody can come up with this, let me tell you. If anybody can come up with this, though, that's not the joke that Coolio just pulled. If anybody can come up with this, then you guys will get absolute credit. All the pieces somehow stacked in such a way, even one move away from queening, even one move away would be hot. All right? So let's go from this puzzle as we've seen it. Now, I want to show you another puzzle. And I'm going to show it to you inside of a puzzle. I'm going to show it to you inside of another puzzle. The puzzle that Fabi gave me a challenge. These I call challenges as opposed to puzzles. I guess they are. But gave you a challenge. This is a challenge. Put all these pieces on the board. It's still winning for white. Now, Fabi gave me a challenge. And it's the same challenge that who gave a long time ago and talked about their teacher or their French teacher gave them some challenge. And I need to know where they got these puzzles from so I can buy that book. Because I will buy that book. Indeed, if it's got these kind of puzzles in it. Do you check these puzzles with a computer? Well, how many times do people ask this question? I don't get it. Like, we all have computers. Of course, we're going to check them in computers. That's just don't ask puzzle creators and GMs those questions. Don't just from now on, all of you on the stream, never ask that question. Okay? Never ask that question. We're not going to just set something up and not check it. We're going to look like morons going in public and saying, "Ooh, I have a great puzzle," and then somebody sets up a position and shows you that you're wrong. And you're like, duh, why did I check it with an engine? Okay? Is any black piece allowed to be next to a king? Of course it is. Of course it is. Absolutely. Absolutely. In this position, bishop a7 loses immediately. Immediately. Now, Koff or Ko or whatever that is, I'm not sure exactly, or I'm supposed to not pronounce that, says, I can do it, I think. Okay. Checks and Effects. You got the Blunders and Brilliancies book. Oh, you're going to love that book. It's such a good book. It's such a good book. Incredible book. But anyway, somebody said, and I'm going to be going over some puzzles from that book, some positions, some great positions from that book in a future stream. We're going to do some stuff on that. If you don't get that book, well, you'll get a few positions on the stream. I'm not going to give you the whole book, but there's going to be some great stuff. So Foucault said he has a way of doing it. All right, let's go. Okay. Coolio says he did it, and we're getting some discoveries right now. Queen on G1, rook on F1, Rook on D1. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Chat's going. Bishop on C1 and H1. Wait, bishop on C1 and H1. Knight on F2, knight on G2. That's legit. That's legit. That one move away is a solution. Loving it. Black to move. Wait a minute. No, no, no. This is wrong. Sorry. This is not correct. Rook on D1, bishop on C1. Because black has check. Rook on, queen on G1, rook on F1, and D1. No, this doesn't work. Am I wrong, Foucault? Am I set it up wrong? Yeah, rook D6 check. This doesn't work. Yeah, something's got to be put in the way. Like, no, you can't put the bishop here because that's not going to work. Nope, sorry. Check. Close, but no cigar. Listen, don't worry about it. That's what happens to me too. It happens to all of us. When we're in the process of creating, stuff happens. You think you got something, then you look and you go, whoa, there's an answer. Okay? So don't worry about it. That happens to me all the time. That's called being a puzzle creator. You feel me? That's what it's called, being a puzzle creator. We suffer. We're like, oh, dumb solution just blew up all my work. It's part of the process. It's part of the process. Now, Coolio says he's got a fen. That is the solution. All right, let me copy it. All right, it's legit. You know what this is? It's legit. I'm feeling it. Coolio, you have absolutely another, okay, other people are dropping it. This works. This works. One square away from queening. This is legit, folks. Let me take a photo because I want to just make sure. This is legit as legit. This works completely. Another discovery by our man Coolio, who's going to be one of the most genius puzzle creators of all time. This is what we're talking about. Coolio, you did it. I completely agree. I don't see any way to save. But does that mean that it can be done? I'm wondering if it can be done one square back. But it looks like that check, that guarding G7 or guarding king in the corner, king there. No, I don't see it anyway. Look, I like it. I like it because there's going to be a queen D5 at the end. Love it. If you move the knight, there's going to be push, queen, bishop blocks, and then Matutski on the board. All right, so listen, Coolio, you're saying you're a lowly 1,800 online, maybe 1,600 over the board. I'm sure there's the flip side solution as well, but Coolio, this is good stuff. This is absolutely amazingly good stuff. Although I'm curious, oh, because of bishop a6. Right, the pawn couldn't be on c7 because of bishop a6. Coolio, maybe your gift to chess is not going to be as a player, all right? Maybe not as a player. Maybe you're not going to be a 2,800 one day, but maybe you're going to be a 2,800 puzzle creator, right? Maybe we've just discovered genius right here on the stream. Maybe we've inspired somebody to create puzzles that will be remembered forever, because the strong puzzle creators were not necessarily the best players on the planet. You might be frustrated trying to get better at chess, but maybe your real strength is actually, as a puzzle creator, you maybe create a few puzzles that will last forever. This one, all right? This one right here is fantastic. Loving it. What a great solution. Matter of fact, I'm going to do this right now for you, Coolio. I'm going to make it even better, all right? Here we go. I'm going to write Mr. Caruana right now on your behalf. Let's see, someone on my stream just suggested a puzzle with all the black pieces, and no pawn, with white having a pawn and still winning. Now, let's not say suggested, just created. We're going to make you into a creator. Just created a puzzle with all the black pieces and no pawns, with white having a single pawn and still winning. Black to move, of course. We're sending this to Fabi right now, Coolio. Someone on my stream just created a puzzle with all the black pieces and no pawns, with white having a single pawn still winning. Black to move. Bam! Sent. Coolio, sent. You just got your puzzle sent to Fabiano Caruana, all right? Number 2 player on the planet, all right? Now, there's also another solution. I feel you. There may be another solution, but wow, Robot Rock, you just put a whole bunch of exclams with Bishop A6. I don't even understand how you put that many exclamation marks following Bishop A6. What do you do after queens? Like, you put a lot of exclamation marks after Bishop A6. Like, to stop that from happening. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. Like, all right. Now, not bad for 2:30 in the morning. That's what's up. Where are you? Where are you, Coolio? Where in the world are you right now? Coolio's making puzzles. Coolio's dropping puzzles. That's what I'm saying. Coolio is dropping puzzles for us, like for real. Well, I'm creating challenges and Coolio is just coming up with stuff. Now, there may be another solution. I mean, physically fantastic. Physically, it's like, maybe some other construct, but it's cool. London suburbs. Hey, good for you, man. Good for you. Move the knight on G3. That's not going to do it. Queen and then queen. We talked about that. That's not going to do it. That's not going to stop the dangerous Coolio. All right? That's not going to stop Coolio. We got that. This is over. It's mate. Coming. Mate in 2. Done. No move. Nothing stops mate in 2. It's coming. This position, y'all. Save this one and torture your friends. Torture your friends with puzzles like this, and they'll be like, yo, what is this? They'll be like, it's not practical. And you'll be like, I know. Stop your whining. All right. Now, so that was that puzzle. Now I'm going to switch to something different. And then I'm going to come back. All right? I'm going to come back. And so what I'd like to do is I'd like to go over something that is absolutely, you're going to get this trending on Twitter, Linear, I hear you. That you're going to look at, I did with Neil, and I'm going to roll back, all right? I'm going to roll back to show you what I'm talking about. But this was the process, and look how much stuff we have actually gotten out of this, and I'm loving this. I feel so satisfied and really happy for you, Coolio. I'm very satisfied that you came up with this solution and added to the chess literature, all right? If you would like to give me your real last name off stream, if I ever publish this, and I likely will publish it somewhere, then I will add your name to it, 2021, as a real legit puzzle and give you credit. Unless you want to be known as Coolio, but you can do this, send me a whisper or something off screen, and I will, if you wish for that to happen, and then I'll just put it, you 2021, and that's it. You solved at least one of these solutions. You say you're shocked you found these. People don't realize that there are different strengths that we have. There are different strengths that we have with chess. And there's a certain kind of creativity that you might have that you haven't tapped into that might lead you to do something amazing. And, off the grid off the beaten track kind of genius that you might have. And we're seeing right now that Coolio is showing a gift to do something where he or she might have thought, I'm not really gifted at chess. I'm really trying to get better. I'm playing, and then Turns out that there's a certain kind of gift of construction that you have, and we might have just unlocked something about you, Coolio, that you can take for the rest of your life. All right? Seriously, about 9 years. All right? 9 years. And you're 1800. So, again, 9 years, you could, somebody, oh, well, I could have been a master by then, 2400. Yeah, sure. But Coolio's gift is so amazing. The gift, the creativity, the ability to visualize something, reconstruct, and whoop, and manifest. It's a different kind of gift. It doesn't have to be about playing, y'all. Y'all are thinking about playing, but there are people who are legends forever, not because of playing. They're artists, checks and effects. I like that. I like that. All right? I like that. Indeed. That's what we're talking about. And now Coolio's probably not going to be able to go to sleep. Coolio's going to be like, oh, man, I got to keep creating. Coolio, you might only do one great puzzle in your life. We've seen two. But you might only do one great puzzle. It doesn't matter. It's there forever. Saavedra did that. The Spanish priest did that forever as well. Thank you, Be Kind Be. All right? It doesn't matter. Saavedra made what is maybe the most famous puzzle in chess ever, the Saavedra position. You guys know that position? You guys haven't heard of it. It's literally one of the most amazing positions ever. And Michel Kari, not exactly sure how to pronounce that, but is rating with a good party. Welcome to the party. Michelle, what's up? Michelle, that's already a golden name. That's a queen's name. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. And this, we're talking about unusual, creative, off-the-grid kind of positions. Just absolutely amazing, brilliant positions. And this is one of them here. Make sure you follow Michelle as we see some of the cool kids have shown up to the party. And they're looking at this and going, what the hell? That's right. White, it's black to move and white wins. This was created by one of our followers here, Coolio. So absolutely, thanks for the raid. And you guys came just in time before I'm about to leave this position. This incredible chess puzzle. It's one of the few positions where you're going to have black with all the pieces. It is white indeed. White is with only a pawn. It is black's move. And this is game. Game over. Black has no defense against one lone pawn going to get the job done. All right. Now, I tried to do this. I wasn't able to in the time that I tried to do it. But we have a fan following on called Coolio. You got to be cool like Coolio, who solved this just right now, sitting in London, East London, and came up with this solution. That's called crowdsourcing. And then finding like the genius in the mix, That's like, whoop, check this out. Dropping this position on you from London. Whoop! Hello, white is winning, even though it's black's turn to move. And black got all the pieces and not good enough. It's not white to move and win. It's black to move and still lose the game. That's the puzzle. Black to move and still be lost. Can you imagine you got like a mountain of pieces? You're smiling. Look at all the pieces I got. I'm so happy. Look, I'm the scrub I'm playing. And then boom, D7 on the board and you go. What? I'm gonna lose? What happened? All right, and that's it. You're dead. You're dead. You're finished. You are finished. You can block the queen with H2 bishop. It ain't about just queening. It's about you getting mated. Getting mated. All right? You can block the queen. Sure you can. That's great. I'm glad. But you're getting mated on a stick. It's not just about blocking. It's about getting mated on a stick. Fabi has not looked at his phone yet, Coolio. So he's going to look at it at some point. Some point he's going to look at it. And then he's going to be like, what? You can't believe the number 2 player in the world is going to look at your puzzle. Listen, like I said, people have created puzzles from time immemorial. All the great puzzle creators have created puzzles, and all the great chess players have looked at them. Don't be surprised. It's not just going to be him. Because when he hears this, he's going to show it to all the top guys before I do, probably. He's going to show it to MVL. He's going to show it to Magnus. He's going to show it to Ronian. Everybody going to see your puzzle. Fabi is not sleeping. He's in St. Louis. It's 8:47. Fabi's not sleeping. Might be watching TV or eating some food or something. But like I said, this is not going to be Fabi only. This is going to be all the top players are going to have this puzzle put in front of them. They're going to say, it is white, it is black to move and lose. All right? The puzzle is, can you set up a position? For those of you who just came, we've been discussing this because it was on my last stream on Friday. If you missed my stream, check it out on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel. Fabi created a puzzle for us that was wild, and then I started coming up with some other ideas. But this one I did not solve, and that is to have all the pieces for black, no pawns, all the pieces. White has only a pawn. It is black's turn to move. It is not check. It is black's turn to move, and black still loses. And I didn't have a solution. And Coolio, all right, Coolio came up with this solution. Coolio from the stream has come up with this solution, which is his original, or her. Coolio, you are he or her, so or they, so I could know how to address you. All right, let me know. Let me know how you choose to be addressed. I choose to identify Coolio. So this puzzle, Coolio came up. He came up with this construct right here and said, look, it's black's turn to move, and black is dead. This is Coolio's solution to my challenge. My challenge was all the pieces, I did not have a solution. All your pieces are on the board. Queen, 2 rooks, 2 knights, 2 bishops. You get all that. White has only 1 pawn, is not checking the king, is not checking the black king, and still wins. And this is it. White is winning. It is black to move, and it's mate in 2. You cannot stop white from playing 2 moves. It's mate. Queen is going to check. Queen's going to play queen d5. It's mate. There's nothing to do. You're dead. Black is simply dead in the water right here. No move to play. It's over. This is one of the most unique positions you'll ever see in your life. Well, of course, but the challenge was very specific. The challenge was very specific, and this is it. I love it. I love it. All right? Bishop a6 does nothing. We're queening. You're dead. It's mate in 2. Bishop a6 does nothing. No bishop block's going to help. Once that queen comes on the board, it's going to mate you. It's going to kill you. All right? So this is over. By the way, Lalouette, nutty question? It's a brilliant question. It's a brilliant question. And you know how I know it's a brilliant question while you're calling it a nutty question? When Fabi replies, Fabi's going to be like, yo, this is hot. I'm showing this to all my friends. That's how I'm going to know it's a brilliant question. Fabi's going to be like, this is dope. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Fabi's the one is going to come back and be like, this is hot. This is hot. I love it. All right? It's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Fantastic. Well, how do I know? Fabi's the one who started this mess, and now look where we are. We're flying with it. Well, let me go right to the next one then. Here goes one that's deep. I'm going to clear the board. And now I'm going to bring some pieces on the board. I'm going to introducing a king, a knight, and a pawn. Introducing a king and a queen. Are you ready? This is the material we have. Coolio, we're going to give this to you. All right? Coolio's going to be like, got it. Well, here's the situation. White has a king, knight, and pawn. Black has a king and a queen. Only. White has a king, knight, and pawn only. The challenge is, you ready? The challenge is this. Is there a position you can set up where it is black's turn to move? Black has a king and a queen. It is not check. It's never check in these puzzles. It is black's turn to move. Black is not in check. Black has a king and a queen, and black still loses. Black has no way to save the game. No way to save the game. All right? This is the challenge. Now, I'm going to show you a wrong answer. I eventually solved this puzzle. but I started with the wrong direction. And here goes the direction I started with. I went to here and to here. And I said, ooh, that's a nice start. That's a nice start. And put the queen where it can't check me, here. That's a nice start. I'm going to win this game. I'm going to win this game because guess what? If you check me, I'm going to counter check you, and that's the mate unless you take. Then I'm going to take with the pawn, and then I'm going to queen on you. That's going to be game. All right? That's going to be game. Well, let's go back. Put the pieces back on the board. Put a queen here. All right? Let me make it's black to move, and it's legal moves only. Okay. So this position. Okay? This looks great. This looks like it's over. What can be done? Until I found something very easy. It was like, hello, what about check? Duh. Now you got to take this thing. And now king here, you're losing your pawn, and it's a draw. Bye. See ya. I was like, okay, that didn't work. By the way, this is Fabi telling me this puzzle. Fabi was the one who said, here's one for you. That's funny. That's fun. His word was, it's fun. So I was like, damn, that just failed miserably. It also turns out, by the way, that this one does the job as well. Check. Oops. Oops. Knight takes is definitely just a stalemate. And king takes drives the king away as well, and that's it. That's a draw. Can't win that. Okay. So that means that this position does not win for white. Remember the challenge, people. Clear your head. You're going to set up a position where it's black's turn to move, and it is a draw. It is a draw. Black's turn to move, and it's a draw. If the queen is on... Okay, back up. Duh. It's black's turn to move, and white is winning. Sorry, my apologies. It's black's turn to move, and white is still winning. So, for example, if we took this queen and put it here, well, this is a crazy position because black's just winning after queen takes. All right, that's just dead. So that's not going to work. All right, so where can we set up? How can we set up the position? Black to move and lose. Thank you. That's a good way of putting it, Elfins. Black to move and lose. That's good. Black to move and still lose. But see, the black to move and lose can suggest a helpmate. So be careful with that because there are helpmates. There are positions where black can force a loss. That's a whole different type of position. All right? So the question is, how can, it's black's turn to move and white still has a forced win. Black is queen and knight versus queen a theoretical win. No, it's not. Only in special circumstances. Move the knight to g5. That's not going to work. If I pull this knight over to g5, I still can draw with this check, dragging the queen away. Dragging the king away. So that's not going to work. Knight on g5 doesn't work. I'm going to say this. This setup is wrong. I'm carrying you guys down a bad path. This setup doesn't work. I had to get away from this setup in order to get the solution. All right, put white king in corner, knight. No, you have to give me squares. You want the white king to be in the corner. The knight where? Knight blocks queen's check, and then you mean like this. But where are you putting the queen? You have to start by putting the queen somewhere. Like, where do you want to start by putting black's queen? Because black's not going to play this check if you're going to play a counter check in response. So where is black's queen going to go? Black will play this check. Black is going to do something else. So where are you putting black's queen in order to make this position work? This is not going to work. I'm going to save you guys the trouble and tell you this is not going to work. It's hard enough that Coolio hasn't solved it yet. So now, it's a hard puzzle. Coolio, I mean, if you don't want to see the solution, Coolio, you can check it out on YouTube. Whoa. Some people have gotten it or claim to have gotten it. Okay, E.T. said I don't have it. Wait. Moruto, you said you got it. Coolio is working on it. Pawn on c7, knight on c6, king on b7. Or hold on. Pawn on c. Hold on. Pawn on c7, knight on c6, white king on b7, queen on h1, king on h8. And this is supposed to be winning. What about check? You're going to have a hard time. Wait, how's this winning at all? I don't even need to check you. What am I doing? If I'm here, sorry, let me back this up and put the queen here. In this position, I can just play this and that's over. So that's just a draw. In fact, even if you queen, even if I let you queen, I just move my king and let you queen, it's a draw. Queen and knight doesn't work. Unless it's a special position, queen and knight versus queen does not win, folks, unless it's a special position. So this is also a draw. So that's not going to work. All right? What's the question? The question is, you have a knight, pawn, and king. You're allowed to set them up anywhere you like except giving the black king check. Black has a queen and a king. And the game is winning for white, despite the fact that it's black's move. It's black to move, and it's still winning for white. That's the question. Can you set up a position where white only has this material, black has this much material, it is black's turn to move, and it is still winning for white? It's not easy. It's not an easy puzzle. It's not an easy puzzle. I got to say it's not easy because I figured it out. But it's not easy. If Fabi's going to give me a puzzle, I know it's not going to be easy because he's not going to give me some bogus puzzle. Can the white pawn be queening already? The white pawn can potentially queen, but not now. Otherwise, it would be a queen. It's only a pawn. I bet the solution has to do with the black queen on h1, black king on g2, but you can't make it work because the damn queen has multiple avenues back. Even if you put the king here, the queen has easy ways back to stopping the pawn. It's always, the queen's a beast. The queen is a beast. King on b7, knight on e7. Oh, hold on. King on b7, knight on e7, pawn on c6. That's not going to work. It's black to move. Black will stop this pawn easily, so that's not going to work. Black king on c3, queen on a5, queen on a5. That's already winning. Pawn on b7, king on, no, pawn on b7, knight, I guess, on c7. I don't get it. You're just promoting. This doesn't win. Queen and knight is not going to win. That's not enough. Guys, anything where white queens and black keeps the queen, that's not it. That's just not going to work. Queen and knight is not enough unless it's a weird position. White king on e8, knight on e4. Wow. Pawn on f7. Black queen on h8 and king on g8. Well, it's check. You're not allowed to have check. Pizza doughy. This is not going to work. I'm so new to chess that this is all going over my head. Sky Fallen, I understand what you're saying, but we're giving a very straightforward kind of puzzle. So I'll show you, before I show you this one, and it's not easy. I'll show you a puzzle. If I said to you, I'm going to take this off the board and this off the board. If I said to you, I'm going to give you a king and two pawns, and I'd like you to pick up the pieces, put them wherever you like, and it'd be checkmate. Right? Pick up the pieces, put them wherever you like it. Actually, you're new to chess. I'm going to take these two pawns off the board. I'm going to say this position. All right? Thank you, Avivko. Much appreciated. It's impossible to win. Wait, I've been trying to figure out the last puzzle, but without a black pawn, the white wins in two moves. What, for everything I've treated, it's impossible to win. What do I know? Avivko, if you're talking about the puzzle that Coolio just solved, Coolio solved that. All right? Coolio rocked that. If you're talking about queen and all the pieces, Coolio already did that. But let me just finish this point. The point is, this is a setup mate. I've talked about this. This is a setup mate. You have a king and a queen. Put them wherever you like to make it mate. I did this with Myth, the streamer Myth, on this show. Put the king and queen wherever you like. All right? And if I put a king here and a queen here, that's mate. I could put a queen here, it's mate. I could put here's mates, here's mate, here's mate, here it's mate. Boom, I saw all the mates. Those are all the mates are possible. Queen here's mate, or queen here, this. Or this particular mate can also happen with the king here or the king here. All right? So that's it. That's king and queen. If I say I give you a king and rook, how do you do it? You say, well, that's easy. I put a king here, I put a rook here, put a rook here, put a rook here, put a rook here, put a rook here. That's a setup. That's a setup mate. We've created a setup mate. We're able to see these types of mates in our minds before we put them on the board. I said, what if I give you a pawn and a knight? Pawn and a knight. Pawn and a knight. Okay, I'll put a pawn here, and I'll put a knight here, or here, or here, or here. Knight can go on any one of these squares, and we've set up a mate. That's the challenge. You can come up with tons of these kinds of puzzles where you figure out, you try to visualize, you can even create these yourself and give them to your friends. Set up the position in such a way that it's mate. It's a setup mate puzzle. These are important to be able to visualize. When you can see them in the mind, you can execute them on the board. All right? You have to do this in chess anyway. It's not just the most typical mates. It's different kind of mates. Like this one, for example. That's a kind of a cool mate. King and pawn and knight. All right? Now, Mensis has a white king on b7, knight on c6, pawn on c7. With black to move Mensis, that's not going to work. So the puzzle I've given is I said, okay, add a queen. Now it's black's turn to move, and it's not check. So not a position like this one, where it's already made, but add a queen where white has a knight and a pawn. Now let's add a queen and say, let's mate now. Or win at least. Win the game. So now Mensis gave the position king on b7, knight on c6, pawn on c7, king on b5, and queen on b4. It's black's turn to move. Black can play here, no? Stopping it, that's it. So that doesn't work. Mensis, easy to stop. Also, by the way, all black has to do in this position is move the queen. And that does it too. That's just, you can queen if you like. I play check and then I pick off your knight on the next move, and that's that. So no, that's not it. Somebody says, I got it. I love it when folks say, I got it, and then they leave us hanging. Is there a book with these kind of puzzles? The answer is Maurice actually needs to write it, because somebody gave this particular puzzle. I don't know what book it came from. Oh, it was you, not so great Malenko, wasn't it? Oh, it was you, wasn't it? It was you. So king on, you want to put a king here, a white king here, white king here, black king here, pawn somewhere, and the knight block. No, this is not going to work either. So for example, any knight check, let's say for example, I checked you, and your response was to check back. I'm just going to take it, and that's a stalemate. Coolio needs to write it. Coolio needs to write it. We'll wait for Coolio. Coolio will hook us up. All right? Coolio will hook us up. Pawn on e7. I'm going to do one last one, and then I'm going to keep it moving, folks. Pawn on e7, king on d7, knight on e6, black king on g8, and the black queen on h8. People, all we have to do is stop the pawn from queening. That's easy to do. That's real easy to do. I just stop you from queening. Not only that, I can stop you from queening like this. No, remember, the queen can just stop the other queen from queening, or just survive, because a queen and a knight are not enough to win. So just check your answers, and you'll see that it's not going to work. All right? Even the one you just suggested, indecent. How about queen on a5, black king on b5, knight on c6, white king on b7, pawn on c8. Pawn can't be on c8. You mean c7. And that's not going to work either. Oh, ET says, wait, got it. Got it, wait, don't tell us. I got it. Wait again, failure. Woo. Love it. Wait. Queen on d1, no. What? King on c2, black queen on d1, knight on, that doesn't even look like it. No, it's not going to work. C3, that's not going to work. Michiko, wait, wait. Whoo. No way to set up a knight fork. It's black to move. How are you going to set up a knight fork with black to move? Okay, so you guys ready? I'm not going to give you the solution yet, because I did more than solve it. at 1 a.m. this morning, back up, rewind, I woke up. I fell asleep on the sofa watching some kind of channel, Star Trek I was probably watching. And and I woke up and I was like, yeah, I'm tired. Why did I wake up here? I got up, went into the bathroom, took care of business, went to my bed, lay down. I was like, I can't fall asleep. Fabi's puzzle. Because I'd already solved the puzzle, this particular puzzle. I'd solved it. And I said, wait a minute, that puzzle. And it started torturing my brain. I said, what if I could create more a challenge than a puzzle, right? So I said, what if I could create a puzzle out of this position, right? And I came up and I was like, blah, 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 blah. Okay, try that. Check it with Stockfish. Oh, yeah, but that's boring. Wait a minute. Da-da-da, play around. Ooh, I have a way. Boom, boom, da-da-da, play around, play around. Wait a minute. I got a better way. And then I finally came up with a fabulous way. And here we go. I'm going to show you the solution to this puzzle by showing you my puzzle first. Then we'll backdoor it into this puzzle. Are you ready for the epic solution? This one will go down as a cool puzzle. And you're going to like, I hope you like, at any rate. Here we go. My solution, but hidden in a puzzle I created. And here we go. This puzzle right here. This is my 1 a.m. puzzle, y'all. I need to see when I do streams like this, I'm in trouble. I'm just absolutely in trouble. Okay. Thank you so much, Skyfallen. Queen on A8, king on B8, knight on B5, pawn on C6, king on D7. Why can't I take your pawn on C6? Queen takes pawn. That's a draw. Chess villain. All right. So now this position here, it's white to move and win. And you will see the puzzle manifest itself. All right? White to move and win. And it has all kinds of little coolio, this got it, boom, the other thing. Never mind, this ain't checkers. All right? That's funny. So this is white to move and win. White to move and win. Queen takes H4. How is that going to win? No, that's not the answer. All right. White to move and win. Here we go. All right. This is today, fresh, hot off the presses puzzle, but based on an idea. All right. So we're going to start. White to move plays B7 check. Got to start with B7 check. That's the first move. Now I'm going to show you bad moves for black. And let me say legal moves only. Okay, hold on. Legal moves only, black to move. All right, we're good. Okay. Thank you, C-Scribe. Now, just trying to get to, we get there. Calm down. Calm down, Rafi. We're going to get there. We're going to check you first. Now, it is black's turn, clearly. So what does black do? Well, first things first. If you want to die, play king c7. The easiest way to die if you want to. We'll just play this check. You've got to go here. Then we'll drop this check on you. And you're going to have to give us your queen. And that's garbage. We don't want to talk about that chess position, right? So we're going to back up. I don't understand. Legal moves only. You should be backing. All right, I'm going to go back. Okay, it's not letting me do that. So I'm going to go here. Put this back here. We had this check. Legal moves only with black to move. All right, no problem. So king c7 fails for an obvious reason. All right. The next question is king to b8, the most natural move. Now, I could show you another line, and that is this move, king to d7. The main line is king to b8, but I'm going to show you king to b7. King to d7 fails for only one reason, and it's slick. This woke me up this morning. This really kept me up. I was like, wow, that's really slick. Okay, but for a reason. So king to d7 is possible. White has only one way to win. One way to win. Remember, the white queen is under attack. It's a very important fact to note. The white queen is under attack. So for example, for one thing, you have no checks anywhere. You have no checks. All those squares are covered, covered, covered. So you have no checks. So your only move in this position to keep things going is to actually underpromote to a knight. Now you suddenly have 2 knights, but you're barely up material in this position. Barely up material. You just got 2 knights. Congratulations. These 2 knights are not even coordinated, right? You played a check, and you might lose one of them. Okay, it turns out you're not going to lose any of them because black cannot capture any of the knights because this check is met by this check. You don't normally see this kind of coordination of pieces, by the way. Very strange, but it's winning. Why? Because now king c7, only move, only legal move. Now white plays the only move, knight to a6 check. Only way to win. Black now tries to run, except that allows knight c5 check. Look at this beautiful coordination between the queen and the knight. The queen guards all these squares, the knight guards those 2, and the king's in deep trouble. Back the heck up, son. The king has to go back, then we play this check, and we all know this checkmate happens immediately. Game over. All right? King on a8, knight on b6, pawn on b7 for black, king on d7, queen c4. That doesn't work, Carmensis. King on a8, knight on b7. Because your knight, the knight's checking the king. Or Menzies, the knight is checking the king. You can't have the king in check. That, actually, you're forking, in your position, you're forking the king, the knight, the king and queen. That's not a solution. All right, so backing up, we're here. So taking the knight doesn't work. Coming back towards this knight also doesn't work because of this check, and you're going to get mated somehow. You can't take this knight because of mate, and you can't back up straight because we'll start with check and then we'll mate you. So coming back doesn't work. So what do you have to do after this check? You must run. This square is covered, this square is covered, so you only have this move. And now white's pieces are completely uncoordinated. Like, this is a horrible coordination. Completely horrible coordination, all right? But check it out. We get started on a rush. Queen to e1 check. White's pieces are flowing all over the chessboard. They're just way apart. But they only have one mission, is to try to trap that king. Now, the king has only 2 moves. Either go here or take this knight. Well, you take this knight, you include this knight in the attack, and then this queen is coming in. Somehow, you're getting mated. You're just getting mated. You can try to survive. It's not going to work. You're just getting mated. It's over. So don't touch the knight. If you can't touch the knight, you have to run. You can't go here because of this knight, so you have to go here. And now knight d7 with check. And look at those knights just dominating squares. It's beautiful. All right? Even here. King has to move. And now the queen shows up with check. And suddenly the pieces are flowing. Better coordination. King has to run. All these are only moves. White cannot deviate. All this is the only moves white can play. We're going to deviate in a second, but all these are only moves. And now knight f8. Now, how often do you see a knight come from over here to do this dance to go in the back rank? The knights are dancing on the back row and beating black up. You got to love it, all right? You got to love it. My solution for the opponent: queen on a1, king on h1, knight on a2, king on b3, pawn on c1. I don't understand that setup. Pawn cannot be on c1. So knight on f8, check. The king dare not go here because, hello, give us your queen. So the king has to go back. Now, it looks very easy to play this discover check. And after king here, to take the rook and say, we got the rook, we'll defend our pawn. The problem with this solution is check. Now trying to capture this knight with check if your king goes the wrong way. But if your king goes down board, now queen takes knight. And even though you have an extra piece, you have to somehow defend this pawn and your knight simultaneously, which is actually impossible with your queen. Your queen cannot go back and save this pawn and take the knight. All right? You just can't. It's not possible. All right? So that means that white has to play a different move that's more threatening. For example, a move like knight to f7, preventing you from taking the pawn because of check and takes. But now black can start a mad series of checks. And it's not so easy to win this position in the end because the black king, even if you trade queens, the black king is headed up the board to go attack this pawn and will also push this pawn to try to trade. I'm going far ahead if you eventually manage to trade queens, if black goes back. Knight e6 is the same. Knight e6 in this position is the same deal because we'll start checking you. And for example, I'll give you this position, right? I take and take, and now I play king g6. And my plan is to go up the board and go after your pawn. Not easy for you to for you to defend this pawn. And when you do, this pawn is coming down the board as well. So this is already a draw. Your king cannot get back in time. For king here, for example, king f5, tempo on your knight. You take, I play here, and you can't stop this. And that's a draw. So, backing up, you can check it afterwards on the stream. It'll be on replay, it'll be on YouTube, so check it out. So in this position, what does white do to win? Well, I'm going to show you there are two wins. One is this check. No, they both start with this check. Now it turns out with the check, the queen has moved. Now you could actually play check, and after king goes here, now you could take the rook. Because queen takes knight, even this check no longer works because I can block, saving the piece. And queen takes knight also doesn't work. Why? Because even though this knight is under attack, this pawn is here. You can play something like check. Even knight e6 was playable. And now in this position, g6 is just going to fail badly to this check, and you're going to get schooled. I'm not even going to bother going any further. But whatever you do, this knight, for example, here, is mate. And if you put your king here, in this position, the knight can come back. And again, you cannot take, because now the knight is part of the party, and the game is over. So that's winning. There's another crazy win I could show you as well. In this position, white has a super fantastic move, queen f5. This move is cray-cray and is winning. The threat is knight f7. If you move your king over to get away from that fork, then check. Black has no regular checks, by the way. Neither one of the pieces can go over here and check the king. That's the mastery of this position. And you can't take because it's mate. And you can't go back in the corner because of check. You also dare not pin because of check, king moves, give us that with check, and you're busted. So all this is winning to say, don't run, we're going to promote, and we'll beat you. So don't leave. Now, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Here we go. Are you ready? King b8. This is what the whole crew has been waiting for. King to b8, black plays. There are no checks that make any sense. This check does nothing. We take the pawn. And you have nothing. Nada. Your queen is under attack. You have nothing. Topologic 0 has just solved the puzzle. Topologic 0 has solved the puzzle. Congratulations. And the position almost looks like Mitrofanov's deflection. That is why I solved the puzzle as well, because I knew that puzzle. And here we go. The correct move here, which I'm proud of to set this up, is the move queen to c5. Is correct. And give it up for Topologic 0 because that is absolutely correct after everybody tried. This is correct. My bad. I said something stupid a second ago. This check is dumb. This takes is dumb. Duh, because of check. Good point. This check is dumb. The correct move is this move. I was stupid. Funny when you create something, you see it in the middle of the night, and then when you're showing it to everybody, you completely fall asleep. All right? So that check. So here we go. So here's the position. And now queen c5. And here's the point. The point is now the threat is deadly. This check is deadly, and we're out of everything. This queen cannot check the king in any way, shape, or form. All right? It's the rule of the 6 files away and 1 over. Just remember that. There's no check possible. There's just no check. There's no check. So what can black do? Well, the key move is rook h5. We can analyze everything after that, but the key move is rook h5. And here we go. We've pinned the queen to the king. So this check does nothing. Just does nothing. You're pinned now. All right? But what does white do here? Here's where the puzzle becomes a puzzle. White plays queen takes h5. Completely out of space, zoo type move. Queen takes on h5. And we have the same situation. Queen takes check. And this, folks, is the solution. That's the solution. Again, we have that 6-file issue with 1 over. There is no diagonal check anywhere. You can't figure out how to diagonally check. You want to come down, but there's not enough board to get your diagonal check going. So you have no diagonal check. The only check you have is on the rank. This is the solution to the puzzle that Topologic Zero pointed out. This is the solution to the puzzle. Except I have 2 pawns on the board for a reason. I clock these 2 pawns in because otherwise it would be a problem. Sacking your queen is not going to help. The knight's guarding the pawn. That's the key to the puzzle. So the problem now is black must check. White now plays check. Counter check. It's mate, so you must take. King takes, and now if your king moves, obviously you lose. So now black has to move the pawn. Whichever pawn move you make, you're dead. If you play g6, we play h4. Hello. Give us your pawn. And if you play g5, we play h3. Hello. You're dead. Game over. And that's it. And that's the solution to my puzzle. This is based on the solution that here, this original puzzle I gave you guys. Let me now take this away, drop this off the board, drop this off the board, this on the board. This is the original puzzle. That is, set your knight, pawn, and king up in such a way that even though black has a queen and the move, black still loses. This is the setup. Topologic Zero pointed this out. I did have the pieces on the board, so Topologic Zero, you did have a bit of a hint because the pieces were on the board. But you did find the queen on h5, and this is the solution. The knight on d8. Right. Exactly. Exactly. This is what it's based on. This is the purest example of it. The king, the queen, they can't do anything. They just can't do anything. And this is game. This is game. Your solution next time is not going to work. I can play queen to d5 and take your g7 pawn. Your knight's on e8. Queen, no, you're going to do that. Queen a2, sorry. Queen a2 would stop what you're trying to do. Queen a2. Your solution doesn't work because of queen a2. Am I wrong? King on g6. King on g8. Knight on e8. Oh, wait. What did you do? You created a backwards puzzle. King on g, pawn on g7. Oh, sorry. Your king is on g8. So you've created the same puzzle on the other side. Ha! We don't believe you. It's a mirror. We don't believe you. You solved it? Okay. All right. We believe you. I don't know if I believe you, but I'm just saying. It's the exact mirror of the other solution. Okay, check his pockets. Boss chair. Boss chair. Okay, so it's the same idea. It's the same puzzle. This is the setup. You can do it on the other side as well, of course. This is the setup. You can kill your friends with this one. This is over. It is over and done. Black has no way to solve. So when you see this, when I saw this, I was like, that's cool. Could I make it happen by force? Could I make it happen by force? So you might ask, why did I put the pawns on the board? Because they're a little bit superfluous. When I created the puzzle back here, and back here, why don't I leave the pawns off the board? It is white to move here. Why don't I leave the pawns off the board? Like, why doesn't it work? White plays queen to c5, right? And now, sorry, it's black to move, legal moves only. No, black to move, legal moves. So black to move plays rook h5, right? And now takes. And you're ready to go, right? You're rocking and rolling. When they take, you go to king moves and you're done. The problem is black won't take back. The bum. Black won't take back. In this position, black will play check. Oops. Oops. Whoops. Black is now attacking the knight. You must take, and it's a stalemate. Draw. Draw. Oops. Nothing. So that's why I couldn't leave the puzzle as is. Because rook h5, the sacrifice as intended doesn't work. So I had to add. Now as you see the mind of the puzzle creator, right? So I had to add. At first I added a pawn here and a pawn here, which wins for white. And then I realized if I put the pawn here, it also won. And then we have this weird solution, this additional solution, which does it, is that pawn check can be answered by king here. The pawn promotes to a knight, and then we have that whole dance, bringing the king across, and we get the queen to go to f5. Remember, this is the key. You promote. Okay, back that up. I need to make white to move. Legal moves only. All right, here we go. Ask for a knight. Are you gonna give me my knight? There we go, knight. And then this whole march that we talked about. Here, 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 here. Check here, check here, check here, and queen f5, which is a semi-mirror, not quite, but a semi-mirror of queen c5, allowing the rook to pin. Of course, you can't do it because you're going to die. And so, there it is. That's my puzzle. Yeah. Yeah. 7 over and 1 up and down. I feel like Dvoretsky's book mentioned that. Yeah, you could call it 7 over and 1 up as well. 1 up or down. I'm sure Dvoretsky's book mentioned it. You know, these kind of things are just like so cool. You see things like knight forks, smothered mates. You know, you see certain kind of interesting things in chess. But sooner or later, they just become stale. It's like, I've seen that before. Oh, it's a knight fork. Wow, congratulations. You know, it's one of those things when you're a beginner. I know there's some people on the stream who are like, I'm new to chess, I'm 800, I'm not really good. You have no idea that blessing that you have, that you're just new to, you're on the journey. It's like falling in love for the first time, right? You fall in love. It's, you know, when you want to think, oh, they've been married for 15 years. They're so in love. They're just so in love. Hey, when you've been married for 15 years, you know all the other person's weaknesses. They annoy you a certain way. They tick you off. You got to love. You're not in love anymore. You love that person. You love that person because the crap that they do, you're like, oh, not again. All right? But when you fall in love the first time, it's like, wow. It's magic. They're perfect. They're perfect. There's nothing wrong with that person. They're wonderful. They're amazing. They're perfect. Everything about them is right. It's great. And everything is a discovery. Well, chess at the early stage is falling in love. It's falling in love. When you're 800, it's all good. It's all fun. There's nothing serious. Then you try to get good at the game. Then you think you're like a 2200 and you're strong. And then 2400s make you look dumb. And then you're like 2,400 and you're like, I'm really trying hard to get good. And then 2,600s are like, you're a scrub. And then you're 2,600 and you're like, oh, I'm 2,600 and I'm like top 200 on the planet. And then 2750s and 80s are like, are you crazy? Are you trying to make a living off of chess? You did all this work and you still can't make any money playing chess because we own you. Then you're 2790 and you're thinking about becoming the world champion. And there's some dude who's 2850 and he's like, you're trying to do what? You can make money playing, congratulations, but you're not taking my spot. I'm the #1 dog here. So you climb up the ladder, you better hope you maintain that fascination and love for the game where it's joy first. It's joy and pleasure. Because once you start making it about something else, you're always going to be disappointed. You're always going to be disappointed. You think you're good? Oh, I'm really good. I'm 2780. Oh, yeah. So why did Magnus spank you? And then you could be like Magnus. You could be like Magnus, and then you're looking at everybody's like, shoot him, shoot him, shoot him, shoot him. He's #1. What do we got to do to take him out? And he's like, damn, I can't rest. I can't rest. These mofos are after me. I can't rest. Do you remember me? I shook your hand at Spindle Tap. I don't even know what Spindle Tap is, J man. I don't even know what you're talking about. All right? So, I shake a lot of hands. Not going to do anything for COVID days these days. Alireza Firouzja. Look, he's got a lot of pressure on him too. Let's be clear. Even Alireza's got the pressure, right? Although he's in that phase where he's like young and fresh and strong and he can get better. So hopefully he makes it. Top 500 online in poker. Lost all my drive for the game. Stop studying, stop caring. That love was gone. Yo, it's terrible. So like me, I'm a commentator and a streamer. I don't play chess for money. Can't do it. I enjoy the love. I enjoy talking to you guys, showing y'all stuff. Teaching. Different kind of love. Different kind of skill set. You feel me? So when you guys, I'm so weak. I'm blundering. Those days when grabbing a book and going over a tile game was like, oh my gosh, great stuff. Jeremiah Knight, I'm stumped on your knight pawn versus queen puzzle. We just showed the answer. Just showed the answer. What do you mean? What do you mean? John Obama, the first time on my stream and you already gained something from it, that's what we're all about. All right? That's what we're all about. Gaining stuff, learning stuff. At any rate, this puzzle, this setup is wonderful. Where were we? Hey, bring our puzzle back. What you doing? Take the legal moves off, put it here. It is black's turn to move, legal moves only. And as we will say, for those who now need to know, after king c5, king b8, queen c5 is the move, rook h5. Take that mofo. Takes. By the way, as we pointed out, in this position, queen here. Oh, sorry, it's black. This doesn't do anything because takes and you got a pawn, so it's not a stalemate. Too bad. There's another move, by the way, right here. This is kind of cool. This move is playable. Sir Kerplunkety Prize. That move is playable. Yes. I should point out this variation before we stop this puzzle. All right? This move is playable. King takes fails to this check and give me your knight. All right? Check. I don't understand this this reference, MOFO, after 9/11/2001. Maybe I'm missing something that I need to know. JSMWNYC. Not sure what that means. So this move, check, is tricky. You have to play queen takes, and now check, chasing down the knight. This is a very important aspect of the puzzle that must be stated. Check. This almost ruins the whole thing. Black's going to pick off the knight. Except king c6 wins. You're not picking off anything. Because when you take the knight, check, takes, king takes pawn, and this devolves into a king and pawn ending, where this and this is going to happen, followed by blah, 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 and wins. This variation had to be added. I wouldn't say added. Had to be added. Another aspect of the solution of the puzzle. White wins again. So that's the puzzle, y'all. The 1 a.m. staying up too late because Fabiano Caruana got my brain all twisted, and that was that. So I created a new puzzle, and I'm kind of proud of that one. This is, oh, wait a minute, we're here. We are back, we're back here. That's the puzzle. I hope you can torture your friends with this puzzle. White to move and win. And now you all know the setup. You all know the setup. Black makes check. Were there any other moves? No. When black queen checks, there were no other moves after rook b. The king c6 is the only move. Yeah, basically it's just check. King has to go here because otherwise the knight promotes. Promotes to a knight, or you get mated. Queen c5, and two defenses. Rook here, which allows queen takes, and then king b6. And the second one is this check, which allows queen takes, and on this check, Your only move is to go here. Otherwise, the queen takes the knight. If you play here, we won't take the knight right away. We'll start with this check. And then make your king move, and then take your knight. If you block with the queen, then we start checking you out your life. You gotta love it. Chess is deep, y'all. Chess is deep. And I can put my name on this one forever, ever, forever, ever, ever.